took a look in the pages of a book to find Stone Soup and other stories for you.
Stone Soup and other stories.
Stone Soup and other stories for you.
Stone Soup and other stories.
Stone Soup and other stories for you.
Thank you very much. That's right. We're the Pushcart Players.
And we have stories to tell from around the world.
But we didn't have to travel around the world to find them.
No, all we had to do was travel to our library. Because the library has hundreds, maybe even thousands of books filled with stories.
It was hard for us to choose just 4 stories for our play today. We liked so many of the ones that we read.
But we did have to choose. Otherwise, our play would take days and days and days to perform. But if you like these stories, all you have to do is look in a book and you'll find more.
Let's see. Oh yes, our first story is an old American folktale from the hills of West Virginia.
That's right, and it's about, all right, it's about remembering.
Right. Do any of you ever have trouble remembering things? Ever get mixed up or confused? I do too. Then you probably like this story. It's all about remembering, and it's called Freddie Lee.
That's me.
Freddie Lee Fisher lived high up in the Appalachian Mountains in the southern part of the United States.
That's right, I'm Freddie Lee Fisher, and I'm 8 years old, and I live on top of this big old hill called Grassy Knob with my papa.
Hello.
And way over on the other side of the hill, down along the creek, there lives my grandma Otis.
Howdy! Freddie Lee Fisher. Well, I guess it's time for you to head on home. But not before I give you this. It's a cake! It's your Grandma Otis's famous chocolate cake. Now, I want you to be real careful, and I mean real careful about carrying that cake, you hear? Don't let it fall.
Oh, I'm gonna be real careful about carrying this here cake. Oh, thank you, Grandma, thank you.
Bye!
I love you, Freddie Lee, from January to December. I only hope you're gonna remember.
This time I'm gonna remember. This time I'm gonna remember. This time I'm gonna remember. Oh, Freddie Lee.
I love you, Freddie Lee, from January to December. I only hope you're gonna remember. Uh-huh.
Where do we travel to find this story?
Aha! Well, it just so happens that versions of this story appear in many different cultures. But the one we're going to tell today is a great favorite with children in India. And it's called The Greatest Being in the World. Good morning, son. We have come to offer you our daughter's hand in marriage.
Yes, you see, she's most intelligent and talented and beautiful and worthy of the greatest being in the world.
So we've made this journey and...
Whoa! Me? The greatest being in the world? Thanks for the compliment, dudes, but I think you've made a mistake.
You mean you're not the greatest being in the world?
If only I were, senorita, there'd be some rather awesome changes around here, dudes. Do you realize there are some mornings when I dread getting up?
You do?
But why?
Because of the clouds, that's why. They gather up all around me. I can't see where I'm going and nobody can see me. It is totally so not cool, dudes. So I'm sorry to tell you, I'm not the greatest being in the world. It's the cloud. The cloud's the one you want to see.
The cloud is the greatest being in the world?
For sure, dudes. It's the cloud you're looking for.
Oh, dear.
Oh dear. Well then, onto the cloud.
The greatest being in the world, the greatest being in the world.
Father said the sun was number one.
The sun said the cloud, and he said it out
The
loud.
greatest being in the world, the greatest being in the world.
Well, this music sounds as though it comes to us from our next story, which comes from Africa. Now, in Africa, legend has it that the sky god Naomi once kept all of the world's stories tied up inside a golden bag.
Lucky for us, someone found the bag, untied it, and scattered the stories to the corners of the world. Here is one of them. It's about a rabbit, a monkey, and some of their friends who live deep in the jungles of Africa. And it's called The Long One.
Keep quiet, monkey.
I have a good idea, I know that.
Hold your tongue.
I only want to help you, let me tell.
Keep quiet, monkey.
Just listen now to what I have to say.
You're too young. Hush! You're too young.
But,
Hush!
but I
Hush!
just...
Hush!
Psst, rabbit, watch this. I am the spitting cobra snake. I can scare a tiger with one spit. Tss, I can shrink an elephant with two spits. Tss, tss. Come out right now, or I'll squeeze under the door and spit poison at you.
Rabbit was amazed at Monkey's bravery. He and Monkey stared at the door, waiting to see if the long one would come out. So that brings us to our last story, which is not just about listening, but about friendship and sharing.
Right. This last story comes in many versions in books for children around the world. The one we're going to tell today comes from Eastern Europe, Russia, and it takes place in the small village of Pinsk, not far from the marketplace in town.
The gardens are empty, the wheat fields are bad, and the chickens have run away. Do you believe that? No, neither do I. Come along. I am going to play a little joke on Matushka, Petrushka, and Baba Ganushka, too. Wait, perhaps you will help me. I am going to teach you a little song, and if you will sing it with me each time I sing it, it will be much more fun. Okay, here we go. Stone soup, soup from a stone. Stone soup, soup from a stone. Hey!
Here you are, Sadonka Sapovich.
3 carrots!
3 carrots for your soup from a stone.
Alster.
Delicious! Yes! It is fit for an empress, for everybody. Too bad, of course, that they don't have a plucked chicken. Why, if they only had a plucked chicken.
Did he say a plucked chicken?
How did he guess?
Well, before when I went to get the stirring spoon, I happened to notice out of the corner of my eye.
Wait, I think I know what you're about to say. A
plucked chicken!
I'll get it!
I'll get it! Hey, 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 hey,
We took a look in the pages of a book to find stone soup and other stories for you.
Stone soup and other stories.
Stone soup and other stories for you.
Stone soup and other stories.
Stone soup and other stories for you.